Cameraman Grades, cameramangrades.com. How to film football training and professional consultations for camera operators, video coordinators, and sports video professionals at all levels. Find us at cameramangrades.com or contact us directly at cameramangrades@gmail.com to improve your team's coaching video. Concluding our search for the best camera operator of the 2025 NFL season, these are the best of the best, and we're putting it to the test. Finally, we get to this matchup, Week 9, Pittsburgh Steelers versus the Indianapolis Colts. Special shout out to Roy Jarella, my favorite kicker of all time from the Pittsburgh Steelers. So let's just jump right into it. Okay. Great job of getting in close. All right, let's see all the detail in here. Okay, who's throwing blocks? Who's making plays? All of this. Let's go. This is great. Okay, zoomed out a little wide here, to keep the kicker in the shot and then be that much farther behind the returner. We did get to see where the returner caught the ball though, and so we can use that for stats. And look at that. That kicker, gets right in the mix of things. I like it. Okay. This is all 22 guys right here, so looking good. All right. Set up within 5 yards, both directions. Very tight behind the running back. Okay, looks good. Nice. Great setup. Okay, giving a little more space to this defensive side. That's great. And then immediately recognizing that the ball was away and then zooming in to find it. Great job. All right, so that brings up 3rd and 4. Let's see what they're going to do. Pass. Passing on 3rd and 4. If you got the quarterback for it. It's a pass. There it is. Okay. Let's go. Didn't get the first down though. Alright. So let's just see how well they keep up with the receivers going down the field. Okay, we got a little bit extra space behind the safety here. Okay, but they use that for this player there and then this player there, and look at that. Looks really good. Okay. Awesome. 4th down. 4th and 4. Punting. There it is. Okay. Okay, nice slow zoom to start there, and then at some point they got kind of nervous and like, hey, we need to see where this ball lands, right? So when I say it's important to see where the ball lands, the filmer knows it, right? You can see they're zooming out nice and slow, nice and slow. Hey, this ball's probably coming down and I haven't found this returner yet. Let's zoom out and make sure we see him. Even if that adds this much space behind it, it's more important to see this right at this moment, and then we can zoom in and go find it, okay? Definitely always want to keep it tighter than that, but I like the decision to go find the ball, okay? And there's definitely opportunity to zoom, to keep that zoomed in closer and stay tighter with all that blocking going on the field. All the playmakers that are going to be making the tackle. All right, here we go. All right, guy at the bottom, guy at the top, not too far off of the top of the chains. Looks good. Okay. Okay, motion. Okay. So, we got a lot of extra space on the backside of the offense. You can definitely put it right here. Unless the running back's going to run backwards, he would run off your screen. They don't do that. They run forward every single time. The issue is that this safety on this side is about to hit the edge, right there. So we've got extra space behind the quarterback, and then we've got a safety hitting the edge on this side. That's where it makes sense to just bump it over. And if we had started with the backside of the running back, which was at the 22-yard line, okay? 22. Let's see where the quarterback drops back to. 22, okay? And that's right about the time where you can drop him. You don't really need to zoom out with him, unless for some reason you think he's got the ball and he did not hand it off, but I wasn't seeing that either. All right, here we go. Nice. Looks good. Again, extra space behind the quarterback isn't necessary. You can cut that out, but what they did with it looked really good. Okay. Keeping extra space behind the quarterback and having the safety that tight on that edge, just makes it where you're going to have to zoom out, right? You're immediately having to zoom out just to keep up with this safety when you have all this extra space here. If you're going to keep it, if you would just take this and shift it over and give the safety more space, give the quarterback just a couple yards to drop back. There's his drop back. Okay. So they're zooming out to keep extra space, that same exact ratio behind the quarterback. Whereas you could just let him drop back to right here, right there. Okay, and by doing that, you gain all this extra space behind the safety. All right. Okay. Ooh. Let's go. Awesome. Cool. Pass. Okay. So, right here. Okay. You can tighten this up. You can tighten this up. Right? If we were to tighten it up, if we put it in the box, measure from one side to the other, measures out right about 70%. Okay. Pass, pass, pass. Okay. Ball's away. All right, cool. Top to bottom. Okay. Got a receiver down at this bottom side here. There. Got a receiver at the top. There. He's going to the back corner of the end zone. You see that? Got a little bit of extra space there, but that's fine. More importantly, are we seeing all the routes that are going out into the field? Looks good. Okay, tighten that up. But again, top to bottom. Okay, this could be tighter, right? But we've got a little extra space both sides, not a big deal. Right there, what are they doing with that extra space? Allowing people to run into it. They're zooming out a lot to show back behind the play where you can just bump it over and show all the way to the back of the end zone if any routes go that direction. Then once we get to here, we do have a player here and we do have a player there. Okay. Kicking it. Take your points. Nah, they're going for it. We want 1 yard. We can get 1 yard. Wow. And look at the block going up the field. Psh, psh. Look at what happens when you stay tight, people. Filmers, pay attention. Okay? Look at this. Look at this. 56. 84. Psh. Let's go. Okay, got the first down. We don't want the 3, we want 6. Let's go. Okay, sweet. Let's go. Okay, right here. Bam. Got a guy on this edge, got a guy on this edge. That works. Okay, guys away on this side. Probably would love to be able to see that if we got extra space over here. Okay, but that's where the ball's at. That works. Looks good. Okay, got numbers to this side. Going away from it. Run to the other side. Okay, sweet. At the goal line. Whoa, got a guy coming in here late. Okay. Sometimes you don't see a guy running off the sideline. He's obviously entering there and picking him up. Okay. Alright. Okay. So once that guy enters the frame, we start zooming out, but I'm not sure why. Okay, you got a nice tight frame here, but there's nobody really running off of it. Still nobody running off of it, right? You could just stay right here and then just wait for these guys to get this direction and then zoom out with them if they're heading to the corner of the end zone, which they are, right? That makes sense. Okay, and there's the corner of the end zone. Okay, nice job. 4th and 1 again. Okay. In. Let's go. Straight ahead. Okay, great job of not knee-jerk reacting. I see this is a tight setup. Okay, this is a tight formation. This is as tight as you're going to get. In most cases, you're going to have, receivers spread out in both directions. You're not going to have the opportunity to get this tight. So at this point, count it as a win, and then just let the players watch what happens. Just like that. Just like that. And what happened was, it was a score for the Indianapolis Colts, and it was awesome. Okay, let's go. And finally, the kicker gets to come out and do his thing. I've been calling for it this whole drive, and the Colts were like, nah, we're going to wait on that. We like it when he gets 3 points. We like it even better when he only gets 1. There we go. Okay, so this time we did not keep the kicker in the shot. Dropped him immediately. Straight pan over to find the ball. And then zooming in. There we go. Sweet. That is excellent. Okay, good setup to start. Pitch coming this direction. Okay, awesome. I love it when there's a pitch coming this direction because I know exactly what's happening, right? You can clearly see as soon as this pitch goes to this back. Okay, there's nobody in your way. There's nobody obstructing it. Quarterback turns, pitches the ball. Right there. Now from this point forward, I saw that happen. I have a clear idea of what's happening on this frame. So from this point forward, I can say, I've got all 22 guys in the shot. I don't need to zoom out for anybody, right? If this guy's going to stop here and just stand there, we can kind of move past him and then just start focusing on these people. Definitely want to keep this guy in the shot. He's going to be running this direction, obviously, right? He's going to be coming this way to make a play. He's probably going to be kind of staying in the middle of the field in case there is a cutback. Let's see what he does. To the middle of the field in case there's a cutback. Okay, and do we cut that guy at the top of the frame out? He's just standing there? Yeah, pretty much. Okay, great job. One yard. 2 yards. Okay, sweet. Love it. Okay, the slow zoom out really doesn't help. It's great to be ready to have to zoom out, but if there's no reason to start it, zooming out is just extra. Okay, but it's not bad. The way they did it looked really good. All right, this looks good. 4th and 14. Punt. Punts away. Punter's down. Okay, and there you go. Oh! Oh! Let's go! Great job, filmer. Can't advance it? Okay. But that was awesome. Okay, got to see all that. Okay. What's going on down here? What happens here at the bottom of the frame? Nice. Awesome. Look at that block. Okay. Now, once we get to this point, we're panning up to see extra guys down here, and there's an awesome block going on down here. I'd love to be able to see more of this, because number 4, what you doing down there, man? Let's go. Right? So to just pan up from him to show extra stuff along the edge doesn't make any sense. And coming backwards, right? So the play's moving this way, and the camera is moving this way. I'll show you that movement here so you can see all of us. You can see all of us, and now we see just of us, right? And there was no zooming that took place in there. It was going backwards. Okay, zooming out, now backwards, then zooming in. Okay, looks good. Third and 3. Gonna pass. You're gonna run it straight ahead. It's a pass. Okay, awesome. Okay, cool. All right, where are they going? Where are they trying to get to? The end zone, right? Let's see if we can see the end zone. Well, there's a guy going to this corner of the end zone. There's a guy going to this corner of the end zone. And I see both corners of the end zone and no further, right? That makes sense. Let's go. Corner. Bam. Bam. And then thrown to the guy in the middle. Okay? Wow. Let's go. 4th and 3. We're not kicking it either. Nobody's kicking field goals today. Let's go. All right. Awesome job. Defense, shutting it down. If you're going to beat us, you got to go 97 yards to do it. Okay? Let's see what they do. Awesome. Great job. I love it. Okay? The motion on that works so well coming off the goal line. Okay? And let's see if they do it again. You got a guy here. He's going to vacate. This edge can come over closer to the quarterback. We're going to be able to see routes going out this direction. Let's see what happens. Run straight ahead. Okay? And no zooming out because they recognized it right away. Awesome. Okay? Okay, a lot of extra space behind the quarterback. Keeping that extra space behind the quarterback, zooming out to show the goalpost behind the quarterback. Okay, we didn't see the goalpost here. We do see the goalpost here. Okay, so was there anything that indicated to us that we should zoom out to see the goalpost? No, not really. Right? If we're zooming out to keep up with these guys. And if we've got extra space over here, we don't have to zoom out. We can just give it to these guys and allow them to use that amount of the frame. Okay, but top to bottom looks good, very workable, very usable for coaching purposes. All right, 3rd and 6, tight formation. Okay, safety right on the edge, 0 yards on the safety here. Okay, 0 yards to the safety side, plenty of yards on the quarterback side. This guy's the farthest guy on the left, but he's not going to stay there. He's gone. Okay? And again, keeping all this space all the way to the back of the end zone just makes everything that much smaller on the field. Let's see. %. Okay? There are ways to improve that. Okay, the farthest guy on the left is the receiver. He's gone. Okay, farthest guy on the left is the running back. He's gone. Okay. Okay, we got a little more than 5 yards on this side. 3 yards on this side. Looks good. Okay. You can see all the different variations and how that changes how we film things, right? But the principles are still the same, right? Stay tight, less grass, more football, right? Never show extra space unless you expect something to happen there, and only show that extra space when something starts to happen there, right? So it's really not extra space at that point, right? All right. So there you go. Okay. This is pretty decent. Got within 10 yards on this side. That works. No, we're not going that way. Get back over here. Pass. It's a pass. Okay. Sweet. That works. Looking good, man. Okay. There's room to tighten up behind that quarterback every single play. Within 5 yards. Definitely room to tighten up behind the punter. Okay. 4th and 1. Again, going for it on 4th and 1. This time was a little sneaky. Okay. Second quarter, going the other direction. Tight formation, staying tight with everybody. Let's go. Alright. Within 5 yards? Yes, yes. How about here? Yeah, yeah. How about here? Uh-huh. Pretty close. Close enough for me. Bam. Let's go. We'll count it. That works. Okay, zooming out on a run play, you're going to gain more space than you really want. But very usable. Alright, empty. Pass, pass, pass. Okay. That works. Left a lot of space at the start behind the safety. More than 5 yards, so but very usable for coaches. Pass. Ball's away. Immediately recognizing the ball's away and stopping the zoom. Awesome job. I like that. Okay. 7 yards behind the quarterback. That 7-yard drop back from the quarterback. Still doesn't happen. Okay. Alright. So, what do we do with that 7 yards? Well, we allow the quarterback to fill it in, which is great. Okay, we still got space on this side, just a yard or two on the safety side. Now we're up to 3 yards, and then the ball's away. Okay. Looks good. Tight formation, Ball coming across, going to the far side on a run, and you're zooming in to go see it. Okay, cool. All right, so on a run, going away from you, all right, you're not going to want to zoom out, right? They zoom out for a second, and they're like, oh, that's going away from me. I should go zoom in, right? They drop these two guys, three guys at the bottom of the frame, and the quarterback. So now we're right here, right? So we're down to 18 guys, right? And this works. This is the point of attack, right? This is where all the action's happening at this point. If you're staying out wider to keep these guys in the shot, that it's nice to have them in the shot, but it's just nice. Okay, I want some aggression happening over here and more of it, right? I want to see that. Let's go. Tight. Really tight behind the running back. I like that. And there it is. What? Okay. All right. So if the quarterback rolls out this direction, it all tends to work out just perfectly, where if you've got the right framing to start, it'll just happen, right? Let's see if it happens on this. He's got the right framing. Uh-huh. Safety. Quarterback. This is beautiful. Okay? Nothing has changed about this frame. I'm seeing all the blocking. I'm seeing the point of attack here. I'm seeing right where this running back needs to be to break one loose, and seeing if anybody's going to make that block to make that happen. Awesome. Absolutely awesome. Okay, who do we drop out of this play? Quarterback and this receiver right here. Okay, the decoy, right? That's fantastic. 22 guys at the end of that shot. Love it. Okay. Kind of a knee-jerk zoom out there at the start. Okay, because that guy's, hit the edge. That's a pretty aggressive loop back on motion. Yeah, that's a little different, right? Not something that you're going to see very often. Okay. Didn't fool the Steelers. But looks like they got a first down out of it, so there you go. Sticking on the ground here. Nope, dropping back. And the sack. Let's go. Okay. Do I want to see how this guy sacks the guy? Do I want to see a sack from this dude? Do I want to see how he gets off this block and makes a sack? Bam. He's got the ball. Let's go. 90. Loving it. Okay. What about on this side? Are we staying within 5 yards? Staying within 10 yards. Okay. They zoomed out to make sure they keep everybody in the shot. Okay. We're kind of zooming out wider than 10 yards at this point. And then a lot of extra space there. Okay. But got to see it. That works. Okay. Steelers ball. That was a big strip sack. And recovery. Huge. Let's go. Let's go. Sweet. Alright. So, got a little extra space here behind the running back. You got 5 yards. Are they going to zoom out to add more space? Hopefully not. Kinda. Okay. Zooming out with this guy at this point. Still keeping that space back there. And not giving him much space at all. Right. At this point, we're within 5 yards both directions. And then zooming back in. Man, that is pretty. Okay. Looks great. Top to bottom. Keeping everybody in the shot. Recognizing the run and then immediately zooming in to see it. Let's go again. Awesome. Okay. Swing the ball out to the running back coming out of the backfield. That's very well done. You can see the top to bottom. Guy at the top of the frame, bottom of the frame. Totally makes sense to do it that way. Okay. Here, does it make sense to keep extra space behind the quarterback? We've got 8 yards. Okay. 5 yards behind the safety. Let's see what they do with that space. Zooming out to show more space. And then we're at this point, we're 9 yards back here. Okay. What does that do to your frame? It shrinks everybody down more than you would necessarily want to do it that way. Okay. Less than 70%. Okay. When you first look at it, does this look like it's 70% of the frame? Or do you have to actually put the measurements to it to see, right? Okay. Okay, cool. Top to bottom, sideline to sideline. Okay, you got a spread formation. This receiver's going this direction, this receiver's going this direction. Yep. Okay. Top of the chains is about as far as I would recommend going on that side. You're out a little farther than that, but you're still within reason on both sides here. Okay, sweet. 4th and 1. Going for it. Of course we are. Straight ahead. Okay. Alright, this is kind of the point where I'd say just leave it. Get in tighter to start. Okay. You can get right here and then just leave it. Okay. Instead of the slow zoom crawl in to see what's going on there. Every time the camera moves, everybody has to kind of readjust where they were on the frame. So, all right, here we go. Got the first down. Single back, looks like a pass. Nope. Run coming this way? No, it's a pass. Wow. Okay. You got me, Rodgers. All right, let's see. Wow. Fantastic. Okay, bam, bam. Okay, a little bit extra space on both sides, but it's very workable. You can watch that all day long. All right. Okay, you got the guy on the bottom of the frame here. And some motion. Okay, there's no reason to zoom out with any of that. Right there, it's all still enclosed in here. 5 yards behind the safety. 7 yards behind the quarterback. See how they use that space. Okay, dropping the guy out here to show extra space along the top. Doesn't make a ton of sense unless you're zooming in to see it. Okay. All right. Single back. Empty. Pass, pass, pass. Slick. Looks good. Top of the frame, right? No higher than the chains. Look at that. Bottom of the frame, pretty close. Still got that space behind the quarterback. Okay. Not anymore, we don't. We threw it on the other side here, right? Now we see the back behind the goal post, and nobody has crossed the goal line yet, right? So that's kind of where keeping that space away from your quarterback to start. Put it over on this side to start, and then you can just leave it, right? And you wouldn't be zooming out at that point, right? You wouldn't be doing any zooming out to gain more space. 1st and 2. At the goal line, knocking on the end zone again. Look at this. Okay, rollout coming your way. Okay. Did he hand it off? Clearly not. Right? You can see it right there. And look at that frame. That is pretty. Almost no movement to get to here, right? We're how many seconds into this play? 2, 3 seconds in? 1, 2, 3, and we've not moved the camera at all, right? It's a great setup. Not knee-jerk reacting, not zooming out like crazy, just because people are moving, right? People are moving is part of football. That's expected. But right here, we're still in the exact same place where we started. Pretty close. And we still see all 22 guys in the shot. Okay, now they are zooming out at this point. Oof. 3 guys at the goal line to meet him. Nice. One yard line. Punching it in, straight ahead. Follow your blockers. Nope. Try to get to the corner. Okay. Third and 1. Now we got blockers. Got a lead blocker. Hand it to him. Straight ahead. Is he in? Is the ball loose? Holy smokes. Who knows? Looks good. Great job, filmer. Okay. I got to see all that. So many great blocks to be able to see and evaluate in there. Okay. Special teams. Alright, so we've had one kickoff where they dropped the kicker, one where they kept the kicker in. Now we're zooming in to see this. Let's go. Man, oh man. Great job. Okay. Really feel like we've turned a page here and gotten really tight on the last kickoff, and this play here has been the next level. Okay. Next level stuff. 2 yards on both sides, right? Yes. Okay. Keeping it tight. Wow. What a game. Back and forth. Okay. Can we stay tighter on this? Yeah. Okay. Recognizing right here. You're watching this guy, and if he's changing direction, you know, you gotta keep up with that. Stop zooming once you see him put his foot in the ground. Got a lot of extra space on the backside of the quarterback. Okay. Great job of responding to a huge swing in that play going the other direction. First and 10. Follow your blockers. Follow more blockers. Let's get some more blockers over there. Okay. Kind of figured that was going to be a run based on the fact that they just kept sending more blockers over there for, you know, clearing guys out for your running back, right? Which makes sense. And there's a pass. Woo, buddy. Wow, what a throw. Okay. Within 5 yards on this side. I like it. Within close enough on this side. Okay. Now we're at 5 yards. 5 yards. Ball's away. Into the end zone. Top to bottom. Everything looks good. This all looks really good. And we're kicking it into the stands. Pretty sure you get fined for that. But worth it. There you go. Kick off. Pan across, go find the ball, and then zoom in to get tight. Awesome. Okay. Like to see where the kicker's at once they re-enter the frame. Let's see what the kicker's going to do here. that. Love it. He's there. He is there for it, right? But there's 21 other guys on the field that you can watch make that play. And that's what is up. Let's go. This looks so good. Yes, there's the rollout coming your way. Saw it. Okay. Rollout. Quarterback fills that frame. Within 5 yards. Within 5 yards. Staying up with it. Bam. Okay. This is all 22. Well, we dropped a guy up here to show extra space down here. Okay. But going to find the ball. That works. Looks really good. Tight. Perfect. So good. It's the clinic reel right here. Bam. All this. 2 yards. Okay, had 2 yards behind the running back. Now it's 5 yards behind the quarterback. Got guys looping behind. 5 yards behind them. 3 yards behind the safety. Okay, 5 yards behind this guy. 3 yards behind the safety. Now, do we knee-jerk reaction as soon as the ball's thrown? Oh, he's throwing it to there, so let's just move over and center this guy and then show a bunch of other stuff over here? No, we're just allowing him to fit into this frame, and there he is, still in that bottom quadrant. Okay, still in the bottom quadrant. Still in the bottom quadrant, right? Totally makes sense to do it that way. That's fantastic. When I say I feel like we've turned the page here, right? These are excellent. Awesome. Yup. Keep it rolling. Stacking up excellence like pancakes. 4th and 3. That's punt. Punts away. There's the ball. There's the returner. Gets the ball at exactly at the 10.5 yard line, which I got to see that. And then going in to find it. So good. Great job. Okay. Hold on. I hope this fixes before this play starts, but we are so centered right now, right? Alright, let's see it. Still centered. How much space do we need behind the quarterback? I've been saying we don't need that much space. At this point, we're at 13 yards. 14 yards behind the quarterback. And zooming out to be 15 yards on a run play. Going straight ahead. Yeah. Okay. 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 Just before the play, not having all that space behind the offense makes a ton of sense. Alright, here we go. Pass. 1st and 10. That's a pass. Nice throw. Looks good, man. Zoom. Sweet. Look at this. Within 5 yards and 3 yards. Love it. Okay. Let's do more of that. Offense. Filmer. Teaming up like Voltron. Let's go. Alright, well, you got 1 yard behind the safety and 9 yards behind the quarterback. I'm going to venture to say that there's more chance that things are going to happen down here on this side of the ball than on this side of the ball. And if you just put it in 2/3, okay, you can see why that would make sense. All right. Okay, right here looks good, right? But we had to come over to see it to get to this point. You're sideline to sideline. You got players up here. You got players down here. Excellent, right? We could have started here, basically. This could have been the frame from the beginning. And then just let it play out. Okay. Second and 10. Awesome. Looks good. Okay, top to bottom. Need to be out that wide to see receivers on both sides. Okay. Bunch left. Running back right. Thinking it's a pass. Nope. Run straight ahead. Okay. Sweet. Alright. So what happens on this play? Right? Well, you got blocking up here. You got blocking here. You got a running back going straight ahead. That's all I need to know as a filmer, right? The coaches can figure out all the details and nuance of it. There's professionals in this business that know this stuff way better than I do, right? But from a filmer's perspective, I need to know, are these guys going to be in the shot? Am I showing them doing what they're doing on the field properly? And am I zooming out when there's no reason to, right? I still got to see those guys in the shot. I still got to see all this blocking. And there was a slight zoom out, but it was so minimal because they recognized the run right away. Fantastic job. All right. Oh, wow. What a sling. Okay. I thought it was a run, right? How quick is this? Right? Colts didn't think it was a run, so they had a guy on it specifically for that. Great job. Pass. Empty, right? Fantastic. Okay, top to bottom. Right there. You know, you went a little higher than the top of the chains there. You don't need to. But, you know, sideline to sideline, making sure everybody's in the shot, and then zoom in to find it. Great job. 3rd and 4. You do have a running back, but it's a passing situation, right? You got the quarterback to pull it off. There it is again. But there might have been some cheating going on there. Okay, great job. 1st and 10. Okay. Somebody was cheating, but it wasn't the offense, so that works. Get the first down. Okay, chaos play. All right, what's going on here? You're supposed to throw it. All right. Can the coaches see why he didn't throw it? Yeah. Is there a lot of extra space back here? For sure. All right. Is there anything we can do to keep that from happening? Well, we're zooming out already. Zooming out. You know, still zooming out. The only reason we'd want to zoom out is if somebody was running to the back corner of the end zone. Nobody's crossed the goal line yet. You know, the safety's right there. Now they've crossed the goal line, but, you know, to show the back corner of the end zone when nobody's heading that direction is going to be more space than you need it. All right. Second and 15. Passing situation. There's the flag. Okay. Alright, this is the end of the half, so they're just trying to keep him out of the end zone. getting out of bounds would be huge, and they did. Let's go. Okay, great job. Look at that. Okay, but if you're zooming out here, this is a really wide setup, right? If you're zooming out here, it should be because these guys are backing up and that these guys are running them off of their initial position. None of that is happening, right? So from this point forward, any zooming out is going the opposite direction of where you should be zooming out, okay? And then that just creates all this extra space, again, to the backside of the goal post, and there's nobody going that way. Everybody's running to this guy, okay? Everybody's running here. What a play. What a play. Nice job, 19. 3rd and 5. Okay, now we're going to take the points. Cool, cool. Great job. Second half. Kickoff. Pan across. There's the ball. Awesome. Great job. Look at all that detail. Look at those people making plays. I saw it. They saw it. Coaches saw it. Okay. Got it back on that side. Got a blocker over there. Nope. Pulling it back to throw it. Okay. Okay, top to bottom, very well done. Second and 2. Okay, running situation. There you go. Third and 1. If you got the quarterback for it, you can throw it and get your 1 yard. Or you can run it. Nope, didn't get it. Love to say they're punting here, but I don't know that that's going to be the case. 4th and 1. Let's go. Get up and get your 1. Let's go. Disciplined. Oh, there it is. Wow. Great job, filmer. Excellent. Excellent. Perfect timing. Whoa, let's go. Okay. Bam. Bam. This is pretty. Okay, safety hits the edge here. Okay, safety's gone now, because there is definitely a sack taking place back there. Okay, awesome job. Wow. 2nd and 20. Probably pass. Great job, filmer. Look at this. So measured, so detailed. Okay, bam. Okay, got a little bit of extra space here, but what do we do with it? Let those guys go in there. Let this guy go here. Great, great, great job. 3rd and 20. Pass, pass. Got quads to the left. Okay. Well. Good. 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 Awesome. Still got that space behind the quarterback. Ball's away. Okay. Great job. 4th down. 4th and 9. Gotta punt it. Okay. Ball's up and away. Let's go find it. There it is. Okay. Great job. Okay. They're doing a great job of following those blocks going down the field. if you can drop the punter sooner, it's going to give you a whole lot more leeway to keep up with those guys going down the field and then go find that ball, so you for sure aren't going to miss it. But they've not missed it one time yet. Okay, great job on this play. Awesome. Let's go. Okay. Got some extra space behind the quarterback. What are you going to do with it? Let's cut it down if you can. Okay, they're cutting it down. Okay. Allowing the quarterback into that space. Allowing the block to happen in that space. Allowing safeties on this side to fill that space. Now there's a receiver over there. Ball's away. Looks really good. Okay. Awesome. Top to bottom. Okay. The receivers on both sides. Well, let's see here. Right here. Okay. Player on that side, player on that side. That works. Looks good. Okay. A lot going on there. You know, they wanted to stay out with the play action just to make sure. But if you can recognize the run, it can keep you from zooming out. Alright, 3rd and 3, handoff. Get your 3 yards. Not happening. Okay. Looks good though. 4th and 2. Punting. Okay, just for context, the Steelers are up 10, 17-7. And so they're looking to keep that lead, extend that lead when possible. Colts are looking to, you know, cut down a 2-possession game and take the lead. So let's see what happens. Okay, top to bottom. That works. Beautiful. Okay. Alright, so the knee-jerk zoom out at the snap. Okay, who are we zooming out with? Alright, well, there's a safety really close to this edge, so that makes sense. You would need to zoom out with him. Unless you could expect that this running back is going to be moving forward and you can move over with him. That would be the one caveat I could say. You don't have to zoom out if the running back's moving forward. Now, only if the running back's moving forward. If the running back moves forward, you could come over and put the frame right there, so you don't have to zoom out. And then guess what? If you see the safety on this side, while you're coming over, you see the safety on this side, change directions and then move straight, you know, back towards the running back. Pretty good indicator that he sees that it's a run and that the quarterback can just be dropped at that point. Okay. Looks good. Run going away from you, it makes sense that you're going to need to zoom up on it. Okay. Alright, so why would you zoom out here? Okay, well, because the safety's backing up, right? The safety's on the edge of the frame, he's backing up. Yeah, you need to zoom out with him. Completely understandable, right? There's still that space behind the quarterback that you can drop. And once the safety recognizes it's a run, he's moving back where he came from. So, yeah, it makes sense. Okay, 3rd and 3. What do you do on 3rd and 3? They've done it all so far. Let's see what else they got. Pass. Okay, looks good. 4th and 3. Going for it? They are. Let's go. Wow. Okay. Why is this important to coaches? Because there's a gap in the coverage right here, and the coaches can see it, and the coaches can game plan that, right? And they know what to do to make that happen. Wow. The decoy, right? Thinking we only need 3 yards, we're going to throw it off to that guy. Everybody rushes up to stop him. Nope. Going to here. Fantastic. Two yards, both directions. 1 yard, 2 yards, 3 yards total. Pitch. Immediately recognizes it, stops the zoom. Okay, at this point you're dropping out this guy to show this, right? I like the camo, on the sidelines, that's cool, but you can just keep him in the shot, or, don't pan up to see it there at the end. But overall, that was really good. Okay. What the heck? Oh no. The Steelers like, oh yeah. Take the ball again. Ha. Great job. Okay, this is going to be a fun coaching session watching all these takeaways, right? And it really has been the difference in the game so far. Okay, nice work. Getting up on it, let's go. Is that a pitch? No, it's not. You saw it, right? You saw that he didn't actually pitch it. He's got it. Beautiful. Looks good. That looks really good. Great job. First and 10. Within 5 yards, both directions. Motion. Okay. Still keeping that space behind the quarterback. Alright. Still all this space, right? There's the referees again. The quarterback's at the 50. I see all the way to the 40 and at times the 39. Okay, so you can bump that all over this direction, and that allows you to frame everything up much tighter on the football. $70 to 75%. Okay. Second and 1. Good running down here. You can do anything you want on 2nd and 1, but a lot of times it's good to just keep it on the ground and get 1 yard, or get it to a guy as quickly as possible and let him get 1 yard, or several, right? Great job. Okay. Sweet. Great work. Okay, there was still room to get tighter with that. They zoomed out just a little bit, but you can see halfway through that play that everything's framed up really well. 4th quarter. Knocking on the end zone again. Straight ahead. Great job. Recognizing that you don't need to zoom out on a run, going straight ahead. Leave it right where it's at. Awesome. 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 All right. So there it is. Nice tight formation to start. Tight framing. And as the ball comes this way, you don't need to zoom out. Just barely zoomed out with that, and then getting back in there to see that play. Love it. A lot of blocks in there that we can look at. A lot of things we can pull from that in a coaching session and say, let's do more of that to get in the end zone when we get down inside the 5. Okay? Flag on the play. We're doing it again. Nah, we'll just count it. Count it as good and then get the kickoff from the 50. And flag on that play. I don't know if that was really helpful to get that flag on the extra point. But here we go. Yes, yes. Sweet. Great job. Keeping up with everybody. There's that sack again, right? They have that play where you get a sack, down pat. You should run that every time if you have the defense, right? Looks good. Bunch to the right. Okay. Alright. That works. Pass. Stepping up. Great job. Okay. So, limiting your zoom. Okay. It's a pass. Okay. There's a safety on this side within 1 yard. Okay. You got a little bit of extra space behind the quarterback. Now, if you stop right here, everything will kind of play out inside this frame. Let's see what happens. Stop. And then let everything play out with inside the frame. A lot of guys running very fast in every direction, making collisions with each other, and this filmer is able to stay up with it. That tight. Looks really good. Flags, flags, flags. Just throw them all. Okay, 1st and 10. Must have been on the defense. Sweet. Top to bottom. Couldn't get much tighter than that. Okay. Staying pretty tight with this formation. Zooming out at the start just a little bit. I don't know that you need to. Okay? Seemed like the filmer's got skills enough to keep up with those guys. Really, the zoom out that happened after the play was the perfect amount after the snap. Whoa! Okay. Great job. Perfect framing. Let it all play out. Okay. 2-possession ball game, 24-10. Steelers are up right now. Okay. Good job. pass, screen. Yeah. Play action screen, right? So safety on this side within 5 yards. Quarterback takes this space within 6 yards. 5 yards, 5 yards. Then the safety perfectly on this edge. Quarterback pretty close to that edge. We get to see everything that takes place there. Looks pretty good. Second and 12. Okay, might just be keeping it on the ground to keep the clock running. Keep getting yards, right? Keeping things moving. Third and 11. Okay, at this point you're going to figure a pass. Obvious passing down. And there it is. Not going to get 11 though. Okay, great job. It helps knowing ahead of time that you're expecting a pass, right? On 3rd and 11, you're expecting a pass, right? Great job. Look at this. Excellent. So much good information in there to be able to see that. Okay? Alright, Colts. If you're going to make a game out of it, starts here. Great job. Look at this, okay? Moving the camera, zooming out at the perfect pace with this safety drop. Look at that, okay? And then you've got the extra space behind the quarterback. What happens on this side? While this safety is dropping perfectly on this edge, okay? Got this extra space. Quarterback is filling that edge, right? Look at this. This looks really good. And then right there, spot on. Okay, awesome. Okay, top to bottom, they went sideline to sideline here. It makes sense. You know, if there were guys going to the edges, that would make more sense, right? But they just want to make sure that they kept everybody in the shot. So it's decent, very workable. And the ball's on the ground, and the Steelers have it again. Going this way. Here we go. Wow. The takeaways. Turnovers have been a major contributing factor to the score in this game. Alright, which is usually the case, but you can see time and time again when the ball's on the ground. And strip sacks and recoveries, fumble on the punt, okay, that kind of stuff. And the coaches are going to be evaluating this on Monday and saying, hey, what do we need to do to make sure that that doesn't continue to happen? Because that's going to affect every game we play, right? Including this one and the next one and the one after that. Okay, looking good. We still got some extra space on this side. Okay, top to bottom at this point, you know, you're pretty close. Again, higher than the chains is just going to show a whole lot more on that side than you really want to. Okay. Great setup. Okay. I'm expecting that the running back is going to move forward. That's my prediction for this play. Okay, I was wrong. Right? Okay. So that didn't happen, right? Let's see what the filmer does to keep all that in the shot, right? He's within 2 yards on this side. He's zooming out, keeping the guy on this side, keeping this guy in the frame. Great job. Okay, there's always the exception to the rule. And there it was. But, statistically speaking, if you're going to play the odds of it, expecting that the run's going to go forward, right? Okay. That was a very quick pass. Get the ball, throw it. Awesome. Perfect framing, perfect setup, perfect leave it alone on that field goal attempt. All right, so that changes the game. It's 27-10 now. That's 3 possessions. Okay. So the Colts have a whole new challenge at this point. And statistically, again, if you're playing the statistics, 3 possessions versus 2 possessions is, the percentages are not in your favor. Okay. Lots of special teams here in a row. Oh, what a hit. Who dat? Let's go. Big time plays being made down there. Okay. And I got to see it because the filmer did a great job. Alright. Good setup here. There you go. Top to bottom. Sideline to sideline. Looks really good. Second and 10. Okay. Given the situation, you've got to expect that the Colts are just going to be passing like crazy. This was probably the best, tightest framing of the game so far. Look at that. Look at this. Really, really good. Look at that. Okay. Throughout this entire play. Alright. Gonna mark that one as the play of the game right there for the filmer. Alright. Top to bottom, sideline to sideline. Is there a reason to go sideline to sideline on this? Not really. Okay, this is an in, right? But if you were expecting him to go out and you went sideline to sideline, that makes sense. You're still within 5 yards on both sides. So this looks really good. Pass. It's a pass. Right? It said to expect pass, especially when there's no running back in the backfield. So good. Alright, so now, at this point in the game, this filmer is expecting pass, and they're dialed in, right? They're on top of it. The not having the expectation of the possibility of a run seems to have set them off to the point where they can just go perfectly edge to edge, right? So then the question would be, what could we do to reduce that, decision making on the other plays where you might expect a run or a pass, you're not really sure. Let's just, zoom out just to make sure, right? Once they get to this point in the game, they're for sure expecting a pass. So it seems like they're much more dialed into what's happening on the field based off of that, right? So if you can just say, okay, can we anticipate whether it's going to be a run or a pass? Can we expect that these players are going to be moving in this direction at any given time, and then see if they're going to do that and make decisions based off of that? Okay, let's go. Nice tight setup. Again, pass. Perfect. Again, nice tight setup, but they're still expecting pass, right? And look at that. Bam. Bam. Not zooming out like crazy just because everybody's moving. Still within 5 yards both directions. There's the play away. Wow. Great job. Second and 4. Empty. Not empty. Just kidding. Pass. There it is. And there's the touchdown. Great catch, One. Let's go, man. Alright. So there you go. Right? Once we can just identify that the pass is going to be the preferred method of getting the ball down the field, we can hone in on that, make that expectation from the beginning, and then just respond accordingly. Okay? That's why I try to look at the formation and look at the situation, look how everybody's standing on the field and say, am I expecting this to be a run or a pass? Okay? Great job on a onside kick. Difficult situation to deal with there. They did a great job with it. Okay? Quick pitch. Coming this way. Great job. Excellent. Okay? So, on the flip side now, the Steelers have the ball. Are they going to be passing? Absolutely not. Right? They're trying to get this clock moving and down as quickly as possible. Incomplete passes are not going to help them if the ball happens to get knocked down or dropped. Okay? So, getting the ball on the ground and then coming this direction makes a ton of sense. And look at that framing. Okay? Once they recognize it's coming this way, stop the zoom. Let's watch it play out. Looks good. Everybody's coming this way. Makes a ton of sense. Okay. They're not in any hurry to snap this ball. They're going to milk the play clock as much as possible for the same reason that we've already said. Okay. And the ball is on the ground. Okay. Well, that was a pass, right? But it was such a quick pass that it was basically a run at that point. But dropping the ball, putting it on the ground didn't help, obviously. So, Colts have the ball within 3 yards. 3 yards. Again, now that this filmer can hone in on which team's doing what, seems like they're just spot on every single play. Pass. It's pass. Okay. Hurry up offense. Okay. Filmer's like, hey, I gotta get a shot of this scoreboard really quick and get back down to the field to make sure that I see this next play, because they're hurrying. They don't want to use an extra second, and that doesn't help. Okay. Alright. So, sideline to sideline. Okay. They're using both sides of this field. You can cut this down at the top, which is going to cut that space down a little bit, but overall, looking really good. Okay. And then, of course, your filmer's hyped about that for his team. Okay. It's still a 2-possession ball game. It can still swing very quickly, right? One direction or the other. Let's see what happens. Again, run, 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 run. Pitch this side. Immediately stop the zoom. Exact same play from the last drive. Okay? Exact situation. Little farther back on the field. Kind of more directly in front of the camera operator. Looks good. Okay, this is 3rd and 11, so look at the stance and the situation. Seems like a pass, right? Because it is. Right? It's supposed to be. Okay, great job. 4th and 15. Punt, punt. Okay? Punt it as far away from your end zone as possible. If they're going to get down the field and score a touchdown or kick a field goal, they've got to use as much time as possible to do that. Which means don't let them run this back, right? Special teams. It's important to learn from every single time you're on the field. So it's important for the filmer to show what you do every single time you're on the field, so that in this situation, we can absolutely be certain that this ball is not going to get, the punt's not going to get blocked, and that this returner is not taking it to the house, because the game is on the line, right? Great job. Now the punt team says, we know exactly what we did on that play because we've seen it all season long, because our filmer does a great job for our special teams. Beautiful. There's the pass. Spot on. Dialed in. Okay? Look what happened once we got, late into this game, where all these excellents started stacking up. Once they could just lock in and say, okay, the Colts are passing, the Steelers are running, unless it's 3rd and 11, right? And we can just dial in on exactly what's happening on the field because we know what to expect. Okay? Now, the next part of that is, what if you knew what to expect within a reasonable amount of certainty and then just wing it from there, right? Once you see that it's changes on the fly, you make an immediate shift in what you were expecting to do versus what you need to do in this moment because the situation changed, right? I thought it was going to be a pass, and now he's handing it off and it's a run, or he's scrambling, right? I need to immediately shift my mindset in that moment and then adjust accordingly on the fly, right? At the speed of the game. Okay. Quick. Okay. Great job getting back to see it. Excellent job. Okay. Filmer got up to the scoreboard, got back down just in time. All right. Spot on. Okay. The clock is not the Colts' friend right now. It is actively working against them. Quick to the scoreboard, back to the field, spike it. Great job. Okay. Not worried about the framing right there. Just getting the ball, getting the camera pointed back to the ball in time to see that snap. Now, kick the field goal. Is it good? It is good. Wow. Okay. So this is it. Onside kick. 9 seconds left. Up in the air. It is down. Game over. Wow. Let's go. Great job. 2 onside kicks in this game that this filmer kept up with. Okay. Big time plays at the end of the game to make this, a 1 possession game. Great job being able to dial in on what was happening at the end of this game and really hone in on all of this excellent to finish it out. So good, okay, at the end of this game. So in this case, you had 168 plays and 160 of them were positive. That's a score of 95%, okay? Bonus 5.8% gives you a score of 101.01%, okay? Limiting mistakes. And really stacking up a lot of really good plays there at the end made a huge difference for this game. So great job for the Steelers for 2025. 2026 is right around the corner. See you then. This is Cameraman Grades.